What's up YouTube? Scotty Tradition back with a video. In this video today we're going to talk about my goals from last year and we'll see what goals I hit on. We'll talk about a few goals for 2025 and we'll just kind of go through it together. So I look back at last year and went through all my goals and wrote them all down. So we're just going to kind of go through them in order here. First one I have here on the list is add less items. That sort of happened, but not necessarily how I would expect it. Last year I added 50 items to the collection, and that was quite a bit, I thought. Usually I like to focus on more quality as opposed to quantity. So I wanted to lessen that number, maybe down around half of that this year. That didn't necessarily happen. I ended up with 45 additions this year, 45 individual items added. So pretty close to last year, a little less, but pretty similar. I only picked up 9 items in the first half of the year. So from January to June, only 9 items. I was doing a great job. And then all of a sudden, July hit for some reason, and I decided to really go wild with the ads as far as to the collection. I didn't stray too much for the collection, so I didn't like go way down any rabbit holes, but definitely. So if I added 9 items in the first half, that means I would have added 36 items in the second half, which is a lot of items. My second goal, so I'm going to give my first goal a check. I did buy less items, but it wasn't much less. My second goal was to spend less money. I kind of feel like my collection has gotten to the point where it's grown in size pretty big, and I don't, at least big for me, like I don't have oodles of volume necessarily, but I have enough into the collection where like I don't necessarily want to keep adding large amounts of money to the collection, if that makes sense. I'm kind of comfortable where that number is right now and probably don't want to go too much higher with it, to be honest. But that did not happen. I actually spent about $700 more this year as opposed to last year, so essentially pretty similar to last year again. Was doing really well to start the year, but then it seemed like every month a decent card came up that kind of fit my criteria that I went after. So now I did not go to the National this past year, so that kind of left me with a little more, the way I look at it, if I'm not going to the National, not spending, because by the time you go there and get hotel and drive down there and accommodations and tickets and everything like that, and whatever you spend there, that's going to be probably in the thousands of dollars for me. So I didn't do that this year, so I'm kind of okay with where my numbers ended up this year that I didn't go. So then I went through the certain things I was looking for this year to add. First thing was Team Hall of Fame set upgrades. So this is Packers Team Hall of Fame set. It's on the PSA set registry. It's about 102 or 104 cards right now. I think there's only 2 cards I don't have that are just added within the last year. But I try to keep up to date with that set. I am number 2 overall in that registry currently, so it's a great registry for Packer collectors. There was only one edition this year, and that was this card, the Paul Kaufman rookie card. He was a tight end for the Packers in the 80s. And this one just came up in December. So other than that, for 11 months, there was no additions at all. So literally one edition. I went from a PSA 9 to a PSA 10 for that set. I'm just at that point where it's extremely tough to find any kind of upgrade. Last year, I only upgraded one card, and that was the Larry Craig rookie card, which is from 1950 Bowman. I went from an 8 to an 8.5 in 2023. So literally the last 2 years, it's been only 2 editions. So not a lot happened in there. Just these cards just don't come up a whole lot. But that one came up and decided to go after it. So was happy to grab that one. And then where I made my most progress this year was the Team Hall of Fame autograph set. So I mentioned I do the Packers Team Hall of Fame set registry. It's about 104 cards or whatever it is. This is not really a set, but it's a set that I'm kind of doing as a complimentary set alongside that. And that's to find an autographed rookie card of everybody in the Packers Team Hall of Fame within reason. And if I look at my sheet here, I was able to add 20 Team Hall of Fame rookie card autographs this year, which is a lot. It's great progress. 20 is a big number. Didn't expect to add that many this year. And that brings me down to only needing 44 for everything to be done with it. And I have 4 cards of those right now that just need to be sent off to Slab City to go to PSA DNA. So down to 40 essentially. And within that, I've got 12 listed as gettable. I've got 13 listed as kind of like, let me start that over. I've got 13 listed as gettable, but I just haven't seen them come up yet. They're kind of more modern-y 90s and 2000s cards that I just haven't been able to find autographed yet. And then I have gettable as a number of 12, and that they're just pricey, but they will come up eventually. And then I've got 17 listed as like extremely unlikely to find. So realistically, there's only about 20, 25 more of these I'm going to be able to find. Everything else extremely unlikely. But there was one of those extremely unlikely cards I was able to find this year, which is pretty cool. So as far as the Team Hall of Fame autographs, this is the Buford Ray autograph. Picked this up this year. Cannot stress how big of a card this is. It's only a pop 1, and it's on a 48 Bowman, so I don't foresee another one coming up. There might be another one out there, but probably not more than one other one if there is one. And then another big one I was able to grab is this one, the Don Hutson auto. Real tough to find, and I was happy to finally get that one. That was a big one, knocked off the list. And then another big one, of course, is the Willie Wood auto I just picked up in December. So knocking those 3 off the list were 3 big ones that I knew were going to be a problem. So happy to at least get those. And then another thing I was looking for this year was pre-Hall of Fame Packer rookie cards. So this would include some regional sets like Packers Lake to Lake, Walker's Cleaners from the 30s, and then matchbooks like the cards that look like matchbooks. And I was not able to add any of those this year. There was a beautiful book that sold at REA at the end of the year, and that was of the Walker's Cleaners. Sold, I think it was around $10,000 or so, a little less. Not able to spend that kind of money on it, so that did not happen this year. So I'm going to put a no for that one. As far as individual cards I wanted to add this year, I have the 61 Fleer Will Chamberlain and Jerry West. Those are probably going to just carry over to my list this year. Just was not able to find the right one that I'm looking for. Kind of looking for a nice mid, low grade centered copy. You know what I mean? But one did not come up. These seldom actually come up for auction. Mostly they're just high buy it nows that sit on eBay forever. Then I had also add one nice Jordan Love card to the collection. I was able to do that, grabbing the Contenders throwback auto out of 20. Was really excited to get that. That's a beautiful card. I'm so glad that I picked that up this year. So I got my Jordan Love collection started underway. Let's hope he does well against Philly this weekend. But I'm not going to hold my breath. I give the Packers like a 15% chance to win that game, the way they're playing, unfortunately. Then I had here add 1 to 2 vintage baseball rookie cards. I didn't add any last year. The only thing I added was a couple 54 Topps cards that were not rookies. And one of the ones I added was this one, of course, was the Stan Musial. So I was happy to add that Hall of Fame rookie card. Also was able to add the Warren Spahn, which I don't have with me here, but really knocked 1 or 2 of those off the list is great. Then I had like vintage football, add some more vintage football rookies. I had Chuck Bednarik on the list, Y.A. Tittle, Gale Sayers. I had the 61 Fleer Alworth and Dawson, and the 66 Philadelphia Butkus. I was able to add a few of those. None bigger than this one, though. This is the Chuck Bednarik rookie card from 48 Leaf. Just an amazing card to have centered there. Just really excited about that one. And here's one I've added this past fall, the Deacon Jones in a PSA 8. So that wasn't even on the list, but that was just a cool one to find. I was able to add a Tittle and a Sayers as well. Don't have it with me, but did pretty well in that category. Then I have here add game use patch cards, especially from the 2000s. I did add a nice Reggie White Fabric of the Game game use patch just this past December. And then earlier in the summer, I was able to add a Robin Yount from Tools of the Trade out of 10, which is really cool. So added a couple there. And then something else I was looking for was a Hank Aaron autograph card. Just the right one has not come up yet. So that one is going to definitely carry over for the goals next year. And then I had Star Trek auto cards, which is kind of a cool project I wanted to get into because I just enjoy the show so much. But that just didn't transpire. There's just too much other cool stuff to pick up, and I might just kind of nix that off the list for next year. There might be a time and a place that I do look into that, but it's not going to be probably this year. And then I have at the very bottom, be an opportunist. So that means if something comes up, don't hesitate to go after it if you feel like it's the right card. And I think this falls into that category. This is the Giannis Prism rookie silver. These are far less prominent than the silvers of today, or even the last 5-6 years. So these have come way down in price, and was the time to strike was then, I think. Happy to grab that one. Card that I long had thought had left the stratosphere. So really, I'd had a great year, to be honest, and was really excited to add some of these cards. As far as goals for next year in 2025, a lot of those same goals are going to carry over, like the Team Hall of Fame set upgrades, the Team Hall of Fame auto set, looking for cool pre-rookie cards of Packers, things like that. Really would, as far as like individual cards I would like to get this year, I would love to add that 61 Fleer Wilt at some point this year. Also, as far as football goes, would love to find a 48 Leaf Sammy Baugh. That's been on my list for a long time. Just haven't seen. That's one I've been looking for. Have not seen the right one pop up in the right price point. And then finally, would like to add a Hank Aaron autograph this year, whether it be on a playing days card signed, a rookie card signed, or even like a cool kind of patch relic signature. So just have not found the right combination yet, but hopefully one comes up this year. And then of course attending the National in Chicago this year. I am planning on going. I already have my accommodation set up, so I did that back in like October already, or even late September. I forget when it was. As soon as I could is when I did it. So I was able to snag a place pretty close to the show itself. So nice to have that out of the way. Other than that, man, it was a great year. I was able to hit on a lot of the goals. A couple I didn't, but I'll carry forward. And I'm just gonna probably be a little more chill with adding stuff in the first part of the year, just like I've done the last 2 years. And we'll kind of see where the year goes. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Looking forward to, and I've been watching a lot of your goals and yearly review videos. Those are always fun for me. I did make a video, my last video, which showed all the cards I picked up this past year. So if you want to look a little more in depth at some of those, you can. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.